I have arrived in a Danik. Right now I am here in Alaska, obviously, but I'm about to head to Canada for a very exciting reason. Welcome to Banff. This is the home of one of the coolest film festivals on earth, and somewhere. Okay, I gotta stop you right there because you can't just tap your way into Banff. It's actually very, very far away from Alaska, which I kind of forget. I kind of think Canada's like just a neighbor because we both have moose and mountains and snow, but actually it was like a really long trip. Banff is like way out there. But it's why it's so cool to be here is because all these people are coming to such a remote spot. To Banff, which is home to one of the coolest film festivals on earth, where filmmakers and creatives and like authors from all over the world come to one place, which is kind of cool because they're all kind of solitary, like creative types, and then they all migrate here like a giant flock of fancy birds or something like that. And the exciting news is I've got a film in this festival. So it's like an actual dream come true. But first I gotta go check in here.
Hello, you're checking in?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Already lost. How is it that I'm like incapable of packing lightly? Like if I have art supplies, I have to have all of the art supplies. Oh, but look at this view. Oh man. Not too bad. Well, that's kind of wild. I'm somewhere in the middle of campus. There are deer and elk everywhere. I'm looking for check-in, but I'm pretty lost. Although, I want to get there because maybe there's like all the goodies, like lanyards.
Oh man!
That's the real deal. Very exciting. Lanyards. Put that on. Okay, now it is official. This would be good for Alaskan shores. I think that is kind of.
All right. So from here you can grab one. This is non-alcoholic. This is gin, cherry porter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, they get you hydrated right off the bat.
You can pick one of the buffs, which are called.
Gorgeous. Yes. Amazing. Wow. Okay.
And then the others.
Hi, dear. So, according to the schedule, there's nothing major going on today. So all the wild craziness starts tomorrow, but got a bag of stuff and got a lanyard. So things at least feel pretty official. But I never really feel like I'm in a place until I can sketch it. So it's just hard to know where to start because everywhere you look is gorgeous. I mean, the trees and the mountains and just like the elk everywhere. Or you get kind of overwhelmed and don't paint any of it because tomorrow's gonna be a giant day. So you go back to your room and eat an entire bag of ketchup potato chips because that seems like the most Canadian thing you can do. Still, pretty excellent first day. See which freezes first, me or the paint. But it's funny, for some reason, I woke up this morning feeling super uninspired, which is weird because like this place is the place that inspired me to get into filmmaking. As a kid, I saw the first Banff Mountain Film Festival, and there was something about the way people were able to capture these places and that like inspiration. It made me want to run out of the theater and just climb a mountain, like right there and then. And maybe it's just how the world is today, or just the overwhelm. But a lot of mornings I just wake up and feel, yeah, I don't know, like frozen maybe. But then as soon as I put one line on the sheet of paper, all of a sudden I'm off and going. But it's that first line that's the hardest. But right below me is a town full of some of the most inspiring people on earth. So maybe they have some answers. Also, I learned which froze first. It's the paint. The paint froze first. I'm gonna have to wait for this one to thaw. There's like a big book component of Banff as well. You're coming home with me. The people and the cultures were often overshadowed.
I just want to make a few gratitude
I was only able to catch 3 of these authors, but it was so worth it. I mean, there's just so much more to these stories, and hearing them unpack it a little bit was so cool. I definitely advise checking all of these books out, and I was able to make a little tiny sketch while I listened to each of them, which I gave to the speakers afterwards. This is a wolf for you. What inspires you to start? Because it's so hard for so many of us to actually begin something. So as an author, like what inspires you to actually take that first step?
I honestly think it starts with an intuition, but there's a practice of being receptive to, like, I've been writing forever, since I was a little girl, but like there's a practice of it, and then one that I've crafted more as an artist, like, so you sit and you wait, and then with this particular book, it was an intuition, a sense that started it, I have to say, and then I trusted that and I went with it.
Okay, Corey, would you mind introducing yourself, and I got a question.
Yeah, I'm Corey Richards. I used to take pictures and climb mountains, and now I do other things.
Sorry, how do you start the first line? Like, is it hard for you as well to like start anything, or where's your inspiration come from?
It's a question that I've grappled with for years, and there's always a moment, and this is it's just being aware and able to catch the moment where you're motivated, right? It'll happen, and if you don't harness it, you won't do it. And it's like a very fleeting moment. Okay, I'm motivated. If you say in that moment, I'm gonna do it later, you won't do it, right? It's the spark, and you just have to be aware enough to see the spark and go, okay, now I'm gonna do it. And the ability to put things down, or, to at least start the first line.
And there's like art just hung from all of the trees, which is super cool. Is this yours?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, can I ask you about it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the first line is hard. I think just doing what you actually feel inspired by. I think especially this age with social media, there's a lot of what is trending or what's selling or what's popular, and to just lean into exactly what inspires you is gonna make the best art. I've been told a lot, like, you're too detail oriented, you're too much of a maximalist, simplify it. And with this series, I just leaned into my detail obsession, and I've never been happier.
Perfect timing as usual.
But yeah, you just gotta do it.
Okay, point taken. Sounds like a start is a start, even if it's a little bit messy. Or you feel like you were at the end of something, it's never too late to start something new. I'm just gonna wait to feel the moment and then get out there and do it. But I might start this sketch somewhere where my paint doesn't freeze instantly. This is getting kind of stormy today, which is fine because I'm inside. We're doing a panel, which is kind of cool, but a little intimidating because the people I'm on it with are just like total badasses. So one of the coolest parts about filmmaking, visual storytelling with like stuff like watercolor is that you can tell really big, complex stories in ways that are just accessible. And so I've been able to work with Keen and Protect Our Winters and the Ocean Plastics Recovery Project to kind of help tell those really big stories, but there's so many other cool organizations out there, and it's really fun to connect with the other filmmakers that, work in that world. Okay, this is the stage, I think. All good?
Yeah, all good, all great. We've got 15 minutes. I just listened to my hike song, which is Dance Yourself Clean. And now just going through notes, trying not to get too nervous. Did deep breaths, Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman stance.
Moderating, right?
Yes, I'm moderating.
What are we up to?
So we're doing a impact storytelling conversation with 4 incredible human beings, and I think it's going to be a really positive, organic conversation to see what happens about why we do what we do. So 11th Hour Racing is a organization that works with people, events, nonprofits to speak about and advocate for the ocean. And we think that it's really important to help build the connection between land and ocean. So that's why we're here at the Banff Mountain Film Festival, so that we can continue to hit home that everything we do on land, in the mountains, will eventually trickle down through the rivers and streams and get to the ocean, like we see in Footprints on Katmai.
And this is Anna, she's also on the panel. You nervous?
I'm a little nervous. Yeah, I'm a little intimidated. You've got all these amazing people, and I'm like, oh, wait, what? Okay. Yeah, but I'm with NRS. We are the global leader in paddle sport manufacturing. And so for me, impact storytelling is kind of two-part. It's recreation and conservation. And how do we make both of those things both approachable and fun and something that anyone can take part in and do and feel inspired by? And you're not motivated, I think, to protect something that you don't have a personal connection to. So if you can create a personal connection to a river, to an ocean, to a landscape, to a trail, to a forest, through recreation, through something as simple as walking through it, as sitting in it, then that hopefully will start to inspire you to look at the bigger picture and look at that landscape a little bit more deeply.
Do I hold this? So I lead a really cool team called the Impact Story Lab at National Geographic Society. And this is a team I started 3 years ago to really dig into how we use storytelling to make a positive impact. People can take in all the information they want, but they don't necessarily change their behavior due to that. It's really, even science proves that storytelling and narrative is what moves people to change and to connect with different issues.
Actually, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Well, our film is called The Giants, and it tells a story that about an environmentalist called Bob Brown, and intertwines his life story with the story of trees. And so we felt that it wasn't an option to just stand back and do nothing anymore, and we needed to do something. So even though we were just two people, filmmakers, we thought, well, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be our contribution. We can't let kids sort out the climate crisis. Adults need to contribute and hopefully lead this movement. So that's what our story is about. It's about the forest, it's about environmentalism, and it's about the right to take action for the greater good.
Whoa, on the stage. Oh, look at this fancy setup.
Hi, so my name is Maria Allen.
Okay, good.
And how telling stories about these things and places can have a positive impact on the planet. So to do that, we have provoke thought and compel action.
That's a really interesting question. Yeah, I will say, to your point about the superpowers too, I think at some level what clicked for this film is I found the Venn diagram. I'm one of 200 filmmakers here or so, but when you start adding more circles to that Venn diagram, you can isolate yourself real fast in a good way. So when I added, I'm dyslexic, so I use a lot of watercolor. There's a lot of dyslexic filmmakers too, but now I'm 1 out of 20. And then those who actually live in Alaska, now I'm 1 out of 2. And then those willing to actually go out there and make a film, I'm 1 out of 1. And so I think in a lot of ways, the struggle is just don't go broad. If you can really narrow it down, you get into a story that is truly your own.
View a film as the entire story. And I
Go, Matt! Did it!
Wow, look at that mountain. The sun is just hitting it now and takes your mind off things, which is good because I'm a little bit nervous because today is kind of a big day. The first exciting thing is I'm about to show the film Footprints on Katmai to the Banff Mountain Film Festival, which feels a little bit like going to the Olympics, just without a torch. I think this is where I'm supposed to be. It's amazing that I can find my way anywhere. Max Romey for Footprints on Katmai. Yeah, I feel like they got the color of the green room wrong, but I won't say anything. Okay, so here's the theater. This is one of many of the theaters, but in a little while, head up to that podium right there, and then I guess our film is first, which is super nerve-wracking, but also very exciting. But no people here yet. Well, a couple people here, but hopefully it's filled.
Director Max Romey is back with his creative mix of live art and film, and his latest film is called Footprints on Katmai. Please welcome Max Romey back to the festival stage.
Thanks so much. So yeah, 3 years ago, I was here. I was actually sitting right there. I was here with a film about ocean plastics washing up on a beach in Katmai, Alaska. And today, I'm also here with a film about ocean plastics washing up on a beach in Katmai, Alaska, which seems fitting because there's still ocean plastics washing up on beaches in Katmai, Alaska. But since that first film, this community has just brought me so much inspiration and lit that spark. And between them and the sponsors like Keen, Protect Our Winters, and Hahnemule, and this amazing organization called Ocean Plastic Recovery Project, we have been able to do some really great work. And so even though the future feels uncertain and unknown, and it might not be okay, I at least know that I'll be in good company because there's something else washing up on those shores in Katmai, Alaska. It's not just plastics, it's hope. So thank you so much for the spark that you've given me 3 years ago, and I can't wait to see where this one goes from here.
Today is Max's birthday.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Should I just get up and conduct a little bit?
Happy birthday, dear Max. Happy birthday to you.
Well, that was absolutely wild. Like, I've seen that film so many times because when you edit it, you watch these things again and again and again and again. But I kind of feel like a film, kind of like art, isn't real, or maybe isn't like full until you can share it with somebody else. All right, so first exciting thing, got to show that film. Second exciting thing, it is my birthday, which feels a little bit surreal. But third exciting thing is that now I get to go to a whole painting workshop with a bunch of kids, which is the coolest thing. I remember when I was a kid, you're just like, all kids are natural born artists, but when you can just put paint and pens and paper in front, like you can just see the creativity happening. So gotta go find some of that. Oh man, I'm already lost again. I think I can go this way. Okay, so the cool thing about painting with kids is you really don't need to like explain anything. And people might not think too much of it, but honestly, just giving kids an opportunity to sketch, that's how this all started for me. I mean, as an artist, there's no like one moment where you realize what's going on. You just have fun, good experiences, and then step by step, you find yourself on some crazy adventures doing watercolors places where it doesn't really make sense. But I just love being part of things like this, and I'm so glad that Banff sets up these kids events because this is like planting seeds for future artists. Okay, that was amazing. It was like an artistic feeding frenzy of all of these kids. The aftermath was absolutely wild, and just the, oh, hey, some deer. Check it out. The aftermath is absolutely wild, and then just seeing kids make art is one of the coolest things, because as a professional artist, you know, 9 out of 10 times I'm kind of scared to make that first line on the page. But when kids do it, they go in immediately. They just know exactly what to do, no hesitation, they're just having fun. And that's how we all started. And I think sometimes I forget that, and seeing 150 kids just attack art supplies and immediately rush into just making some really fun stuff and have a great time doing it. Yeah, that's something to remember. And now there's just like one more thing I need to try to get done before I leave. I really want to try to give this painting one more try. Although with this weather, I'm not even sure I'll see much. It kind of looks like a blank sheet of paper anyway. And it is way colder than last time. Well, here we are. Not much of a sunrise. In fact, I'm not even sure where the sun is right now. Could be anywhere. But even a stormy sketch can still be a really fun sketch, assuming that you don't lose your fingers to frostbite. Okay, so step one is you take off all your sweaty layers because you don't want sweat on yourself. It's just gonna act like a refrigerator. because it's easier to stay warm than it is to get warm. So make sure you lock all that heat in. I need to find somewhere good like this. And I brought like a little tiny thermarest-y thing because that is a great way to keep warm as well. Frozen butts make for short paintings. Oh yeah, if it fits, it sits. Wait, if it sits, it fits? Anyway. Okay, well, the next step is actually making the painting, which, if you remember last time, didn't go super well because water has this nasty habit of freezing in the winter. This is what it looked like when everything thawed. You kind of those ice crystals and then it thawed afterwards. So we get this real nice abstract painting, but I actually want something that works. So I went down to a Canadian grocery store to see if I could find something. Canadian grocery stores are basically the exact same as the ones in the US, except for they have their own flavor of chips, which are frankly kind of superior to what we got. They've got their own kind of M&Ms. I'm not sure about these ones. They even have their own kinds of soda. Like, I wonder if you can get this stuff outside of Canada. There's also an entire wall of maple syrup, of course. But this is the shelf I was looking for. I was gonna need something strong. It's not the fanciest thing, but it should work for making paintings in the cold. I also definitely don't think you believed me when I said this was just for painting. And here's the result. So I should be able to mix a little bit of vodka with some water, and that should keep things from freezing too much. My only problem is I also forgot water, so I've got mint tea. Could also be making a slightly yellow painting. That should be enough. Ink actually will freeze at this temperature, so I suggest using pencil or something like that, because even permanent markers kind of get real messy in super freezing temperatures like this. Okay, so the outline is in, which is good, but oh, my fingers are freezing, so if you kind of swing them, sometimes it gets the blood flowing, but it's good to paint quick too in the winter. Okay, here we go. First line is always the scariest. Just gonna add a little bit of, oop, too dark, and then we're off. Really hoping it doesn't freeze. I mean, considering that this is vodka and tea, it's not too bad. And there's the Banff Mountain Film Festival. Came with one film, left with 19 sketches and a ton of incredible memories. I'd do that again.